صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر.
Once again, the loud and beautiful sound of the adhan echoed through the busy streets of Medina. Men quickly began closing up their shops, and the women rushed out of their homes excitedly. The old, young, men, women, and even children, everyone was heading in the same direction. They were all rushing towards the most special place in all of Medina. Can you guess what the most special place in all of Medina was? Yes, you're right. It was Masjidun-Nabi. The lively masjid was bursting with the crowd of people coming in. Everyone loved Salah. Everyone loved the Prophet. And what was better than to pray Salah behind the beloved Prophet of Allah, Prophet Muhammad. He was the most amazing person in the whole world. Inside the masjid, rows and rows and rows of people stood waiting for the prayer to start. It felt like the whole city of Medina was there, except for one person. People at the back craned their necks anxiously looking at the door, waiting to catch a glimpse of him when he finally arrived. People at the front stared in wonder at the empty prayer mat in front of them. Everyone wondered to themselves, the Salah can't start without him. Where could he possibly be? Can you guess who was missing, children? Exactly, it was Prophet Muhammad. And the people were worried because the Prophet was always the first one to arrive. The Prophet had never been late before.
Something very important must have come up.
One of the men sitting in the front row said to the man around him reassuringly.
I really hope he's okay,
said a sweet little girl to her mother worriedly. One of the close friends of the Prophet, the muaddin of the mosque, Bilal, stood up and said,
I will go and look for the Holy Prophet.
Bilal, determined to find the Prophet, put on his slippers and made his way to the Prophet's house. He walked hurriedly in the hot, burning heat of the afternoon sun. All of a sudden, he heard the loud sound of children squealing and laughing coming from a nearby alley. He hurried on, smiling to himself, wondering what had made these children so happy, when suddenly something made him stop midway in his tracks. He thought he heard. No, it couldn't be. He turned into the nearby alley just to be sure, and would you believe it? There was the Prophet of Allah, right there in the alley, on his hands and knees. Bilal couldn't help but stare in wonder. You see, children, as soon as they had heard Bilal's beautiful adhan echoing in the streets, the sweet cheeky children of Medina had gathered in the street leading to the masjid. They knew they would find Prophet Muhammad there on his way for Salah. They had missed playing with him. He always played such fun games with them and made them laugh. And so the children had waited, trying to hide from him to surprise him. They had a fun game planned for him today. Just then, one of the girls whispered,
Shh! Be quiet, everyone. Here he comes. Quick! Hide! We need to say salam to him first today.
But even though they had tried to hide and catch him off guard, Prophet Muhammad still managed to say salam first when he saw them.
Assalamu alaikum, dear children. How are you today?
he said cheerfully. The children ran forward and hugged him, laughing and jumping happily.
We've captured you, Ya Rasulullah. You cannot escape now. You have to play with us until we free you,
said one of the boys, trying to sound serious, but not managing to hold back his smile. And so, when Bilal came looking for the Prophet, and when he saw him, the Prophet of Allah was on the ground, surrounded by the children of Medina. Little boys and girls giggled and laughed around him. One of the boys climbed onto the Prophet's back.
Faster! Faster, my camel!
The Holy Prophet chuckled and pretended to go faster before tickling him and gently putting him down on the ground. The little boy squealed with laughter. Next in line was a sweet little girl.
Me next! Me next!
She said shyly, tugging at the Prophet's cloak. The Prophet smiled and told her,
Of course, my dear child.
She hopped onto the Prophet's back excitedly and lovingly put her little hands around his neck, proudly saying,
My turn!
Now Bilal was a bit upset. How could these children keep the Prophet while it was time for Salah? He wanted to tell the children to stop bothering the Prophet and to stop wasting his precious time. But before he could say a word, the Prophet gestured him not to say anything. Instead, the Prophet smiled radiantly and said,
My dear Bilal, please go to my house and bring me some walnuts.
Bilal rushed to the house of the Prophet and came back right away, balancing 8 big walnuts in his hands. The Prophet took the walnuts as he gently spoke to the children.
Do you all like walnuts?
Yes!
The children screamed, waving their arms in the air and jumping up and down excitedly.
Would you all sell your camel for some walnuts?
The children looked at the walnuts and their eyes lit up. One of them said,
That's a hard choice, but we accept. Walnuts! Walnuts! Let's find a stone to crack them!
shouted another boy. The Prophet laughed heartily and handed them the walnuts. They happily took the walnuts and let go of the Prophet's cloak.
Bilal, my dear brother, did you see how cheaply they sold me off?
The Prophet laughed again. As they shared the walnuts, giggling in delight, the Prophet rushed to lead Salah in the Masjid. All the way back to the Masjid, Bilal was lost in thought. What a kind and merciful Prophet Allah had sent. He didn't want to make the little children sad and only separated from them after making them happy. Subhanallah. After the Salah, Bilal watched as the people in the Masjid gathered around the Prophet just as the children had done earlier. Like bees to flowers, everyone surrounded the Prophet, trying to take some light from him, learn from him, and just be by his side. Everyone loved the Prophet, and I'm sure you all love the Prophet too. So let's send our salawat to him and thank Allah for sending us the bestest Prophet ever. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
I wanna walk like you, talk like you, read my Quran just like you. Wanna be like you in everything I do. You are the closest to Allah. I wanna smile like you, breathe like you, read my salah just like you. Wanna be like you in everything I do. Yeah.